Good morning, students. Welcome to the lecture of Real Analysis 2. In the last lecture, we have seen some important statements regarding the step function. The definition of step function we have seen already, right now. The first statement regarding step function is a step function is defined on closed interval and assumes only finite number of values. Endpoints of the subinterval forms finite set of discontinuities. That is, set of discontinuities is a finite sense. Hence, it is a set of measure 0, and thus we can say that the step function is measurable. Why the step function is measurable? Because the domain, whatever we have taken, closed interval AB is a measurable set, and whatever this collection of the elements x in the domain, such that f of x greater than alpha, or whichever four equivalent statements we have seen, four versions of that preposition rather, greater than alpha, less than alpha, greater equal, less equal alpha. Okay, whatever you consider is going to form the subinterval, and this subinterval is going to be measurable. Hence, the every step function is measurable. Next, we have seen the characteristic function. Characteristic function is defined to be a function on the set of real numbers whose codomain is doubleton set 0, 1, and the function is defined as characteristic function. It is pronounced as chi. Chi of e of x is 1 if x is element of the set E, and 0 if x is not element of the set this E, where E is no doubt the subset of R. We have seen these important properties, and we have proved that for any set A of the real numbers, the characteristic function chi of A is measurable if and only if A is measurable. To prove this statement, first we have found the set of domain, rather a subset of the domain, such that this is collection of all x in R, such that chi of A of x is greater than alpha. And for different values of alpha, we have found the values of this set to be R, A, and phi. But we know R and phi are always measurable. Therefore, the question is about A only. Therefore, one can make a statement this set is measurable if and only if this A is measurable. And that's why we have proved this. Chi A is measurable if and only if A is measurable. Okay. Existence of non-measurable set gives us the existence of measurable function. Actually, whatever this set we were forming, this is a subset of a domain, and we were checking if this subset of a domain is measurable, then the function is measurable. That is, finding a measurable set of the domain R gives us the corresponding function measurement. Therefore, if we get this set to be non-measurable, what will happen? The corresponding function will be a non-measurable function. This is what we have written. Existence of a non-measurable set implies the existence of non-measurable function. Similarly, sum of two measurable functions we have proved measurable, but sum of two non-measurable functions need not be measurable. We have given with the help of example also. Next, we have defined a simple function. Simple function is a measurable function assuming finite number of values. Assuming finite number of values means the range set of the given function is finite. Okay. And whenever the range set is finite, we have seen that this is defined to be, AI is defined to be the subset of domain. Okay. Collection of all x in E having a same image. With the help of this, one can represent the simple function phi in terms of this characteristic function, and is called as canonical representation or natural representation. By using this canonical representation, we have proved that sum, difference, and product of two simple functions is simple. I will not repeat the proof again. Okay, let us come to today's lecture. In today's lecture, as of we have discussed, we were going to see limit superior, limit inferior of the functions, right? And we were going to check whether limit superior, limit inferior of the functions is measurable or not. Before that, I just want to know what you know about limit superior and limit inferior. Have you heard these words before? Do you know these concepts?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You have studied this in your graduation level itself, right? Now, this limit superior, limit inferior was a concept we have studied in case of sequence of real numbers rather, right? Yes, can anyone tell me? Limit inferior and limit superior. 2 points we wanted to check. Actually, the aim is to prove that limit superior of sequence of functions, limit superior, limit inferior, both of sequence of functions is measurable. Therefore, before going to check that measurability, one should be clear with the concept. Limit superior, limit inferior. Do you know why this concept arose? Actually, we are familiar with limit of a sequence Sn, right? No, limit Sn, no, n tends to infinity. What is Sn? Sn is the sequence of real numbers, right? No, if Sn is the sequence of real numbers, we have found limit n tends to infinity. What is the meaning of limit n tends to infinity? Sn exists. The sequence is convergent, right? Now, limit exists and unique gives us the sequence is convergent. What this limit n tends to infinity Sn tells us exactly? What it tells us? This tells us what is the value of Sn. What is the value of Sn when n is very large, right? Now, that is, we were guessing what will be the value of your sequence at infinite stage. At infinite stage means at very large value. Therefore, whenever limit exists, we were guessing the value of the sequence when n is very, very large. When n is very, very large. But limit n tends to infinity exists only for the convergent sequences. Therefore, the question arises, can we guess this kind of value for the sequences which are not convergent? Can you find the limiting value for the not convergent sequences? No one cannot find, na? Not for not convergent sequences, right? Okay, therefore the question is to check what is the value of your Sn when n is very large and knowing that the limit of the sequence do not exist. Therefore, this limit superior tells us how big Sn is, how big Sn takes, or how big Sn can take a value, when n is large, when n is very large. Okay. Similarly, limit inferior tells us the idea how small Sn can take. Sn can take a value when n is very large. Therefore, mainly this concept was defined for not convergent sequences. If you go through any real analysis book, this concept was defined for the sequence of real number. Rather, different criteria are given. What different criteria? This is defined for bounded sequences. This is defined for bounded above sequences. This is defined separately for bounded below sequences, and so on. Different criteria for different types of sequences. Now, in order to understand the concept clearly, we were going to study the general definition. Therefore, I am going to tell you the general definition of limit superior and limit inferior. Let me write first for limit inferior. Is the point clear to everyone? Limit superior gives us value, limit inferior. Right now, if any doubt with this concept, you can ask me. Yes, students, any difficulty with this? Or
No,
whether
ma'am. No, ma'am.
limit inferior and what is limit superior? Huh? If sequence an be a sequence of real numbers, then limit inferior an is defined to be supremum of infimum of the sequences. That is, infimum of this set n plus 1, n plus 2, and so on. And this inferior is taken. This inferior is taken of this set, and supremum was found. Okay. Therefore, in order to understand the definition clearly, what I will write? I will write this set, inferior of this set, let me write as an. Okay. Therefore, what is an I am writing? An is inferior of the set an plus 1, an plus 2 and so on. No doubt what is the value of n is going to run from 1 now. Therefore, if I put n as 1, what will be the set? This will be a set A1, a sequence say A1, A2, A3 and so on. Right? Next, if I write A2, what will be the set? This will start with A2 now. A2, A3 and so on. If I write A3, this will be A3, A4 and so on. Right? And what we were interested in finding? We were interested in finding the infimum. What is A and we have defined infimum of this set. Therefore, let me write for A1. Okay. Whatever is the set under the consideration A1, A2, A3, AN, let me assume the inferior is some number say alpha 1. Let me assume some number say alpha 1 is the inferior. A2 let it be alpha 2. For A3 let it be alpha 3. So what is A1? Alpha 1, A2, alpha 2. Okay. And AN is nothing but inferior of these values actually. Is that point clear to everyone? This is inferior, sorry. Inferior, I forgot. Right? Then if I substitute this set in this above statement, what limit inferior AN gives us? Limit inferior AN is actually supremum of the set. Alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on. Correct na? What alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3s are? These are the inferior values of this set. Means first we were finding inferior of the set and then we were going for finding the supremum. Is that point clear to everyone?
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is the definition. Okay. When I was there in my graduation level, I used to remember this definition as limit inferior is. Now in the pair supremum infimum, infimum is present. Therefore, let us replace this limit by the second word supreme. Okay. Therefore, this is actually limit inferior AN is supremum of this set. Or in other words, one can write this as limit inferior AN is defined to be supremum of infimum of the set AK, where K starts with N. Right now? Where we have started with N now. It is K equal to N. N plus 1, N plus 2 and so on. Therefore, whatever is this K starts with N and supremum starts with N greater than N. Supremum is over N takes the value greater equal to. This is what a shortcut definition. This is the shortcut definition for limit inferior. Similarly, we were going to define for limit superior. Okay, how this limit superior is defined then? Limit superior of the sequence AN. Now, can anyone tell me a definition? In the pair
Infimum of supremum of.
Yes, it is infimum over N of supremum. Supremum of what? N plus 1, N plus 2 and so on. Okay. Again, if I write this set to be some Bn as I have written previously. This is say Bn. Okay. Then what is Bn? This is supremum. Bn is supremum of the set. Which set? An plus 1, An plus 2 and so on. Therefore, if I wanted to find for n equal to 1, what's the value?
Beta 1 supremum.
Say some beta 1. That is, we will start with A1, A2 and so on. Let me write the value as some beta 1. If I write B2, this will be supremum of the set A2, A3 and so on. Let it be beta t and continue. Thus, limit superior of this an is defined as. How it is being defined now? This is infimum. Infimum of which set now? Beta 1, beta 2, right now? Beta 1, beta 2 and so on. And this no doubt it is over n. Okay? Or in other words, one can define limit superior an to be infimum of supremum of the set AK. No doubt k is greater equal by n. Inferior is taken over n and no doubt n is greater equal by 1. This is the alternative definition or a shortcut definition. Okay, is the point understood? Definition is clear. I hope you have solved many example of finding limit inferior, limit superior of the given sequence. Whenever the sequence is convergent, all these concepts coincide. Which concepts coincides? Limit, limit superior, limit inferior. Therefore, we were discussing this totally for the non-convergent sequences. Okay. Now, the same concept was applied to the functions as well. Therefore, instead of a sequence of real number, if we have the sequence of functions, what will be the definition then? Same definition we have to write. Limit inferior or superior? Limit inferior of sequence of functions. Previously, we have written this for sequence of real numbers, right now? Therefore, let me write if fn is a sequence of functions. I hope you have studied sequence of functions as well. Pointwise convergence and all. Then, how can we define limit superior of this fn? What is the another notation? The another notation is like this also. Limit upper bar fn. One can say n tends to infinity. How it is being defined now? Limit is the word replaced by inferior, no? Okay. Infimum of supremum of this fk set. K is greater or equal by n and n is greater or equal by 1. Okay? Similarly, what is the definition for limit inferior of sequence of function? I'm just recalling the definition because I wanted to prove all these are measurable. Right? Therefore, again, if fn is a sequence of functions, whatever is the idea we have written for the sequence of real number, same is being carried out here. Okay. So this is limit inferior of fn, limit n tends to infinity. The other notation is limit lower bar n tends to infinity fn. Yes, is it supremum of infimum of the set fk? K is greater or equal by n, n is greater or equal by 1. Okay, and always limit superior. Yes, limits inferior is less equal by limit superior. That we know. And whenever the limit of the sequence exists, all the three concepts coincide. Limit, limit inferior, limit superior. Okay. Let me take a small example to understand. A small example to understand how to find out the lim sup and lim inf of the sequence. Okay. Let the sequence of functions fn of x. First I'll let fn be a sequence. Let fn be a sequence of functions defined by. I'll take a simple function so that we can solve it fastly. Let me write as x upon n, where x belongs to closed interval -1 to +1, and it is asked us to find limit superior, limit inferior, and limit fn. But this limit fn if exists, because we cannot give a guarantee of existence of limit fn always, right? Okay. What is the function defined sequence of function? Fn of x is defined as x upon n. X belongs to closed interval -1 to +1. Say, first let us go for finding limit superior. First, limit upper bar, it was actually limit upper bar n tends to infinity fn. Okay, fn of x I will write. This is actually limit superior fn of x. Okay, how it is defined? Infimum of supremum of fkx, k greater equal by n, n greater equal by 1. How this fkx is written? Fnx is defined as x by n. Therefore, how can I write fk of x?
K by X by K. X
Yes,
by
it is x by k, right? Let me write for the values k greater equal by n. Inferior over n, supremum of, yes, let me put the value of k equal to n first. Therefore, this is x by n plus 1, x upon n plus 1, n plus 2, x upon n plus 2, and so on. Okay? Can you tell me what will be the supremum of the set? As you put up the values in
X
supremum,
upon M.
yes, x upon n, right? Because for a fixed x, if you go on increasing the denominator, what will be a nature of values? The values are decreasing,
Decreasing.
right? Therefore, what will be a supremum value? Is it x by n? Right now, supremum among these terms is x by n. Now let me put up the values of n and let us find out the inferior. Therefore, let me put the values of n. First value, say n equal to 1. Therefore, the value is x by 1, x by 2, x by 3, and so on. What will be the inferior? Can you guess? X, x by 2. For the fixed x, no doubt again.
X.
Is it x?
0.
Infinite.
Yeah, what's the value? It's a 0.
0. Infinite.
0.
By N.
No, it is not infinite. This is x upon infinite. No?
Yes.
Because if you go on increasing the denominator for any fixed x, say, for any fixed x, if you go on increasing the denominator, the value is going to decrease. Until what we were going to decrease? X upon infinity time. What is 1 upon infinity? 0, na?
0.
Okay. Therefore, what is the infimum of this set? Is it 0?
Yes, ma'am.
What we have found? Limit supremum of this fn of x is 0, right? Now we will find out the second limit inferior. Limit inferior of fn of x. How we were going to define? Limit is the word replaced by supremum now. Supremum of infimum of the set of kx. How to remember? K greater equal by n, n greater equal by 1. Again, what is the value of fk of x?
X
Is
by
it x by k? No doubt. For k greater equal by n. Now for finding the infimum of the set, let me replace the value. Is it x by n, x upon n plus 1, so on. Right now, infimum over. Okay, I have replaced already. Let me just simply infimum. What is the infimum of this set? X upon n plus 1, and so on. Again, n we were going to increase. Denominator we were going to increase.
0.
Yes, it is 0. Right? Now, supremum of the set of 0. For every n, it is 0. Na? Just wait a minute. Okay. Now supremum we wanted to find for this set 0. For every n, if I start with n equal to 1, 2, 3. For every n, what is this set? 0. Finally, it gives a singleton 0. What is the suprema value there?
0. 0.
What we have found? Limit inferior of f(n) of x is 0. Okay. Now, what about the limit then? Limit superior and limit inferior coincides. What is the value of limit?
0.
0. Right now? Here you can write limit superior, limit inferior, both equal. Na? Therefore, limit exists. And what is the value? It is 0. Correct now? Both the values exist and it is equal to the limiting value of the function. Understood how to find out limit inferior, superior of the sequence of functions. Okay? There are many examples actually you can try for. I'll give you one example for homework. Okay? If f and x be a sequence of functions, a sequence of functions defined by fn of x is equal to sin mx for x greater than 0, find limit inferior, limit superior and limit if exists. Okay, here also if you write infimum of supremum of sin, suppose I wanted to find limit superior. What this definition will be? Infimum of supremum of sin mx. Okay. Now if I write for sin kx for k greater equal by n, it's a sin kx, sin nx, sin n plus 1x and so on. Na? What will be the supremum value of sin?
1.
Yeah, we know sin lies between -1 to +1. Therefore, whatever is nx value, suprema is 1. What about infima? -1. Therefore, here you will get limit superior as 1, limit inferior as -1. So, limit do not exist. Okay? Do it on yourself. Now, let me come to the main theorem in which we were going to prove all these are measurable. Okay? Let me write the statement. Let fn be a sequence of measurable functions. What it is given, it is a sequence of measurable functions with same domain. With same domain. As it is a sequence, no doubt it is going to be defined on the same domain. Okay. Then prove that following functions are measurable. Following functions are measurable. Okay. First, supremum of finite set f1, f2 to fn. Okay. Second, infimum of the finite set of functions. Next, supremum, arbitrary supremum. Right? Fourth, arbitrary infimum. Infimum over an arbitrary set. Fifth, limit supremum of Fn. Sixth, limit inferior of Fn. This is another notation. Lim upper bar Fn. Here it is lim lower bar Fn. Okay. These many points we wanted to prove measurable, provided this is the sequence of measurable functions. Okay. Let us prove it. In the first step, we were going to prove suprema for this finite set, F1 to Fn only. Okay. And then in the third step, we were going to generalize it for an arbitrary set. Let me go stepwise to prove the result. In step 1, what is my claim? To prove that, yes, supremum of F1, F2 to Fn is measurable. Okay. For the sake of proving the result, what we will define? This we will define by some function, say h. Therefore, what I am going to define a function h by, how I am going to define h of x as supremum of this set at upon x set. That is f1 of x, f2 of x, so on up to fn of x. Okay. What about this suprema? Whatever is the suprema will be one function among this, and this function is moved out a measurable function. As the sequence of function fn is given to be measurable, whatever is the domain, this domain is measurable. That is, it is the member of our curlium, right? No? Curlium is the collection of measurables. Okay. Therefore, no need to discuss the domain for this suprema. Only we have to check one of the four statement in that proposition, and we want to show that this is measurable. If I am going to define h of x as supremum of f1, f2 to fn, what will be the relation between h of x and an arbitrary function fi of x? Can anyone tell me?
Greater equal.
Yes, it is greater equal. And may I write this is for all I equals to 1 to n? Because h is the supremum among these values. Therefore, h of x must be greater equal by every element of this set. Right? No, every function of this set. Okay? H of x is greater equal by fi of x is known to us. Now, what should I consider? In order to prove h is measurable, let me consider the collection of elements x such that h of x is less than alpha. It is not essential to take less than alpha always. One can take greater than alpha, greater equal by alpha, less equal by alpha, because we have proved all these four statements are equivalent. Right now? Right? Now let me write this as x such that what we have written, this h of x is greater equal by fi of x. Therefore, may I write this is fi of x less equal by h of x strictly less than by alpha. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is for all. I equals to 1 to n. Let me write it in the set itself. Phi of x. This will imply, I will write, this will imply not equals to h of x strictly less than alpha for all I. For all I. Now let me write this set as collection of all x. Phi of x is strictly less than alpha for all I. Right now? Now what this means actually, x, this set is giving us collection of x such that Phi of x is less than alpha for all I. whenever I am writing for all I, can I write it as an intersection? I equals to 1 to n. X such that fi of x is less than alpha. Correct? Therefore, x such that h of x less than alpha is now equivalent to intersection of x such that fi x is less than alpha. But what about this set? Fi is given to be measurable.
Measurable.
Right? This is measurable. Therefore, may I say this belongs to curly M. Therefore, each set is measurable. What about the finite intersection of measurable sets?
Measurable.
Set is measurable, right? So here I will write simply, since Fi are measurable, since Fi are measurable functions, the set X such that Fi x less than alpha is also measurable for all I equals to say 1 to n. Okay. Also, finite intersection of measurable sets is measurable. Okay. Therefore, may I say this statement number 1? What is the statement number 1? X such that, thus, X such that h of x less than alpha is measurable. But what is h we have defined?
Supremum of functions.
Therefore, where shall I write? Supremum of f1, f2 to fn is measurable. Okay. In the book, the notation was given, the step was proved by taking h of x greater than alpha. If we write h of x greater than alpha, then this h of x is greater than fix will give you fix is greater than alpha for some I. Therefore, instead of intersection, it will be union. But I feel this will be easier for you to understand. Therefore, whenever it is for suprema, we will take less than alpha, and whenever it is a case of infima, we will take greater than alpha. Let us prove this in the second step for infima. What to prove in second step? Infima of f1, f2 to fn is measurable. Okay, what I am going to assume again, let me assume this as a new function, say define g. Okay, let me write this as g of x. What g of x I am going to write? This is infima of f1 of x, f2 of x, up to fn of x. Now, if g of x is infima, then what is the relation between g of x and an arbitrary element of fi of x?
Less equal.
This is less equal, and again this is for all I equals to 1 to n, right now? Now we wanted to prove g is measurable. This g of x is measurable. Therefore, I am going to consider the set x such that, not such that, g of x is greater than alpha. Here I have taken h of x less than alpha. Now I will write g of x less than alpha. Okay. That is x such that alpha less than g of x, right now? But alpha less than g of x less than fi of x. For all I, right? For all I. Therefore, may I write this is alpha x such that alpha strictly less by fi of x for all I. And it is true for all I. May I say it is true for intersection as well. Okay. Again, what is the nature of this set? This set, is it measurable?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Because fi's are measurable. What about the finite intersection? Measurable.
Measurable.
So what we were getting? X such that g of x greater than alpha. This is measurable. Okay. What is the reason? Since fi are measurable functions, what it is giving us? X such that fi of x greater than alpha is measurable set. Right now? And what about this intersection? Intersection is also measurable. Right now? That's what we have proved. Infima. G, that is infima of F1, F2 to Fn is measurable. Okay. Now what we wanted to do for this number 3 and number 4? Check. In number 3, this was a supremum taken over an arbitrary set, na? Having infinite number of elements around it. So whatever is the logic used for statement number 1, same logic is used for statement number 3. The only change is whatever I we have taken from 1 to n, now it will be from I equals to 1 to infinity. Right? No other changes. Correct na? Here I have written I equals to 1 to n. Then what we have to write simply for all I. Okay? Nothing to worry about step 3 and 2. So let me just write step 3 to prove that supremum over n of Fn is measurable. Now I will not write in detail, but I will write simply define. Again let me use the same symbol. H of x is supremum over n of Fn of x. Right? What is the obvious relation between this? H of x is greater or equal by Fn of x for all n. I am not writing the range now. I am writing for all n simply. Right? Thus, the set, if I consider x such that h of x less than alpha, may I write equivalent to intersection n x such that. What such that? Fn of x is less than alpha. Same. Step number 1 I have carried out. Here it is summation I equals to 1 to n x such that fix less than alpha. Now it is over arbitrary n. Now it is over arbitrary n. And we have already proved this is measurable. Since fi's are measurable, I will not repeat the steps. Simply I will write since fi's are measurable. May I write directly? This implies supremum h is measurable. H of x is measurable. That is supremum over n of Fn is measurable. Correct na? Countable intersection we got na here. Here it is the countable. But what about the countable intersection of measurable sets?
Measurable.
Yes, it is measurable, right? Countable intersection. In step 1 we got it as finite intersection. Here it is countable intersection. Next, step 4. Now what we have to do in step 4 again? Infima over arbitrary Fn. Na? In step 2 we have taken infima of finite set Fn. Same logic again. You should not worry about anything. What to define? You tell me now. G of x is a symbol we have used, no? I hope I am very clear to this, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this gives me g of x is Oh, sorry. Fi is I have to write. Na? What is the relation between arbitrary Fn and Gx?
Yes.
Yes? Less than or equals to, no, for all n. Step 2 to be repeated. G of x is less than or equals to fx for all I. Now I am writing for an arbitrary. That's why this is g of x less than or equals to fn of x. Then what to consider? Selection of all x such that g of x greater than alpha, which is equivalent to say alpha less than g of x less than fn of x for all n. As it is true for all n, I can write intersection, arbitrary intersection over n such that x such that alpha less than fn of x. And this is measurable. Correct now? For real. What about countable intersection?
Measurable.
Okay, because since fi's are measurable, fn I can write now. Since fn's are measurable, what it will give us? G of x is measurable. But what is g of x?
Infimum.
Of, yes, g, sorry, infimum of fn over arbitrary n na, is measurable. Right? Now what remains to prove? Step 5, step 6. What step 5 says? Limit superior, no? Lim sup fn is measurable. What is the lim sup fn we have defined?
Infimum of supremum Fn.
Yes. Let me write the definition. Lim sup of fn is infimum of supremum of fk of x. Right? K greater than or equals to n greater than or equals to 1. Okay. Now, this suprema of what we have taken? Suprema of fk's we have taken. But in already in the previous step we have proved suprema of fk's is measurable. Correct, no? Then whatever
Yes,
is
ma'am.
measurable we have obtained, then we are taking its infima. But we have already proved infima of measurable is also measurable. Hence the proof holds. Correct? See what I am saying. Let me define this to be some function, say gn of x. What is gn of x I am writing? Suprema k greater than or equals to n of the set fkx set. Okay. What is this fk's? These are measurable.
Measurable.
Then what we were taking? Suprema of which set?
Measurable sets.
Which set? Rather, so what I am asking? Infinite set, na? Fn of x, fn plus 1 of x, and so on, no? K greater than or equals to n means fn of x, fn plus 1 is means it is suprema of this arbitrary set, infinite set, where every element is measurable. Therefore, by which step?
Third step.
Third step. This gnx is measurable. Third or fourth? Third, I think. Suprema, third step. Okay? Shall I write by step 3? Gnx is gnx are measurable. Right now? Then how we were writing? Lin sup fn is actually infimum of gn of x, na? N greater than or equals to 1. What gnx are? Measurable. What about the infima of this infinite set again?
By
What
step
kind of
4
set
they
we
are
are going to
measurable.
construct? Yes, this is the set, no? GNX of this type. Means it is infima of this infinite set where every element is measurable. Then by which step this is measurable?
Fourth step.
Therefore, shall I say directly? This implies lim to Fn is measurable. Reason? By step 4. Okay? May I say similarly lim inf will be measurable. Because in lim inf we were just interchanging these positions. Na? Infima is interchanged with suprema. But though you consider infima of Fk of x first, whether it is measurable or not,
Yes, ma'am.
then
Measure.
let us take suprema till it is measurable. Similarly, or shall I write step number 6? I have to write step 6, not similar. Okay, step 6. What to prove? Lim in Fn is measurable. Okay, now we know that how this lim in of Fn is defined. Supremum of infimum of the set Fkx is greater equal by n greater equal by. Means first we were finding infima of this set where each Fk's are measurable. Right now? And then we were finding suprema. Therefore I am now writing lim inf is measurable directly. By which steps?
Step 4.
No, 2 steps I have to write. Once for suprema, once for infima. Arbitrary supremum and arbitrary infimum. Which steps are they?
Fourth
3,
step.
4, na? 3, 4, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct, na? 3, 4. Arbitrary supremum, arbitrary infimum. By step 3 and okay, understood? Any difficulty
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this? Yes, if you have any difficulty, you can ask. If not, let me write a corollary. Corollary is very simple. Proof is in 2 lines only. If Fn is a sequence of functions which converges to F on same domain, then prove that F is measurable. That is limit function is also a measurable function. This one we wanted to prove. What is given? Since Fn tends to F, Fn converges to F, that is limit n tends to infinity, Fn equal to F, right now? But we have
Yes,
seen
ma'am.
already, whenever limit n tends to infinity exists, this is equal to. What it is equal to? Limit superior.
Limit inferior and limit superior.
Very good. But we have proved already limit superior, limit inferior are measurable. Thus, F is
Measurable.
measurable. Reason? Since limit superior, limit inferior are measurable. Okay? Any difficulty up to this in today's lecture? Starting with lim concept. And if you want to go to study these concepts in detail, you just refer a book of Methods of Real Analysis by R.R. Goldberg. I have taken just a general definition and just started our regular syllabus. Okay, and this is really a very vast concept. You just go through it. Pointwise convergence, uniform convergence of sequence of functions. Right. Very interesting to know about all these actually. Only one example I have taken to understand. This is one I have given for homework. Okay, what we have proved in today's lecture majorly, if we have the sequence of measurable functions, then supremum fn, infimum fn, limit superior, limit inferior, all are measurable. All are measurable. Yes, students, if you have the difficulty up to this, you can unmute yourself and ask. It seems there are no difficulties. Shall I stop for today? In the next lecture, we will go for our next point of the syllabus, proving Littlewood's 3 principles. Those are very important principles from the sake of real analysis, understanding, measure and integration. Okay, let me stop for today. Thank you for being with me for this lecture. Thank you.